Good morning. Hi, I'm Karen, for those of you I have not met. This morning we're going to be doing a 1-hour Pilates mat class. All levels are welcome. You just need yourself, and if you happen to have a TheraBand or a yoga strap, you can grab that. If you don't, you can just grab a beach towel, a household towel, and we're going to be using that later for a couple stretches. And then I wanted to give a shout out to my Bay Club family, my Bay Club members. I miss your smiling faces dearly. You guys are the ones that make my job so fantastic, and I can't wait to get back into the gym and see you. And until then, I'm grateful we have this fabulous technology to continue to connect. So we're gonna start on our back, flat on our back. We're gonna bend our knees, put our feet flat on our mat, floor, carpet, whatever you've got. And then just take your hands, rest your hands on your rib cage, elbows on the mat. And we're gonna start with some Pilates breaths. So you're gonna take a deep, full breath in through your nose. And open your mouth, let it go. Again, deep, full breath in through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh it out. One more time like that, deep, full breath in through your nose. And open your mouth, let it go, releasing tension. So we're gonna be here for a minute or so, just on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the mat, playing with what we call rib cage breathing. So if you put your hands on your rib cage, it's gonna be a little more helpful for you to feel the expansion and deflation of the rib cage. We're doing the best we can to breathe in through our nose. Expand the ribs with breath. And then it's an open mouth exhale. Deflating your ribs. Again, breathe in through your nose. Do the best you can to feel the breath in your hands. Open mouth exhale. Deflate your ribs. And feel a sense of the core muscles starting to engage. So play with this at your own rhythm, at your own time. And if you're familiar with this breathing, if you've worked with me quite a bit, you're gonna try to do what we call posterior lateral rib cage breathing. So that is your back, posterior, lateral, and your side. So endeavor to put your awareness, your attention in the middle back, and try to feel your breath expanding the back of your rib cage. So you wanna inhale through your nose, fill the middle back with breath. And then sigh it out, deflating the ribs and engaging the abdominals. Again, in through your nose, do the best you can to fill the mid-back with breath. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Feel the ribs deflate and the abdominals engage. And then one more breath like this, you guys, and we're gonna add movement to the breathing. So we're on our back, we're gonna add a pelvis movement, a pelvic tilt. You're gonna inhale, prepare. And as you exhale, close the ribs, engage the belly, and tuck your pelvis. You wanna feel the lower back round, the tailbone press into the mat. Inhale, release, let your tailbone drop to the floor. Exhale, sigh it out your mouth, close your ribs, engage your belly, and tuck your pelvis. We call this a pelvic tilt. Again, inhale, release, let the tailbone drop. Exhale, close the ribs, engage the abdominals, and tuck your pelvis. Again, inhale, release. A few more, you guys. Utilize the breath to engage the core. So it's the exhale that tucks the pelvis, not so much the legs and the glutes. Again, inhale, release. Exhale, releasing tension. Use the rib cage closure and the abdominals pulling into round and tuck the tailbone under. And then 3 more. Inhale, release, tailbone drops. Utilize the breath only around the lower back. So you're not clenching your bottom, you're not using your legs. You're trying to use these deep core muscles. And 1 more. Inhale, release. And exhale to tuck. And let's add on. Inhale, release. Exhale, pelvic tilt, and we're gonna turn it into a pelvic peel. So you tuck the tail and now we roll the whole spine up off the mat, one vertebrae at a time. So you're going to be standing on your shoulder blades and feet. Take a deep full breath in here. And on an exhale, roll your spine down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. Inhale, prepare. Use the exhale to tilt your pelvis and peel your spine up off the mat, tailbone, lower back, middle back, all the way up onto our shoulder blades and our feet. Pausing here, breathe in through your nose, and breathe out to roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. We call this articulation of the spine. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, sigh it out your mouth. Peel your spine up off the mat, one vertebrae at a time. All the way to the feet and the shoulder blades. Big breath in, send the breath into your back body. And exhale, roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back. And let the tailbone drop and release. Few more, you guys. Inhale, get ready. Initiate with the exhale as you tuck the pelvis and peel your spine, one backbone at a time. Pause at the top, breathing in and breathing out to roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. Two more. Sense the inhale filling the middle back. Exhale, engage your core. Feel how the core lifts you up. Not the legs, not the tush. Let the breath lift you up from your pelvis. Inhale at the top. And exhale to roll down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. One more, you guys. Inhale, get ready. Exhale, roll up, one vertebrae at a time. And this time we're going to stay in the bridge. So you want to feel your weight bearing on your shoulder blades and your feet. Endeavor to feel just as much weight in the toes as the heels. So there's a sensation of pulling your knees away from your head, tractioning your spine. And take a breath in. And on an exhale, we're going to lift one leg to tabletop. So we call this marching. Ideally, we're going to stabilize our core as we move or march the legs. Inhale, foot goes down. Exhale, switch legs. Inhale, foot goes down. And exhale, switch. You guys keep going. Inhale, foot down. And exhale to lift. So utilize, keep marching. Utilize the exhale to turn on your core. And we have layers of core muscles, you guys. These are the deepest layer, the posture muscles that support the spine. So the breath, literally, we open the mouth. We release tension in the face and the jaw, and the middle engages. We want to feel the middle lifting the legs, not so much the legs. And that takes mindful awareness, right? We're training our body, our muscles via our mind and our intention to move from particular muscles and not others, yes? So we're looking to work core, not so much hips. One more each side. You guys are doing fantastic. And then when you're ready, put 2 feet on the floor. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose. And exhale, roll your spine down, upper back, middle back, lower back, and release. Go ahead and hug 2 knees into your chest. And if you need a deep, natural breath, take it. So you guys, Pilates breathing is not natural. It's meant to work our core, and that it will. But often if you're learning it, and when you're learning it, it might feel like you're not getting enough air. So take a break whenever you need to. Let's take our legs to tabletop and our arms out to the side. So place the back of the hands on the floor, palms up to the ceiling, and really stretch your arms apart. And can you guys sense the idea of the breathing supporting the legs here? So with your legs at tabletop, I'd already like you to feel core work via the idea of ribcage breathing. And then we're going to go into some rotation of the spine. So on an inhale, rotate your knees and hips to one side, shoulder blades stay grounded. And on an exhale, come back to center. Again, inhale, rotate the other way. Shoulder blades stay planted on the mat. Open your mouth, sigh it out. And use that breath and exhale to pull the knees and hips to center. Again, inhale, fill your back body as you rotate the spine. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Use the exhale to come to center. So back and forth with breath, you guys. Once again, the shoulder blades stay planted on the mat. We're turning the hips and the knees. So you can kind of coordinate your breath and your movement On an inhale, you twist. And on an exhale, you pull back to center. On an inhale, you twist. And on an exhale, you pull back to center. So back and forth, about 5 more in each direction. Once again, you guys, I'm gonna ask for the same thing for the whole hour, and that's this quality of breathing, of what we call rib cage breathing. So as you breathe in, sense, you guys, put your intention and your awareness in your middle back, and sense your breath expanding your thoracic spine, your mid back. And then use the exhale to engage the middle and pull your hips to center. You guys have 1 more each side. You're doing fantastic. And then once you feel like you're even right and left, hug 2 knees into your chest and take a deep full breath here. Placing the feet back on the floor, hip width apart. And this time we're gonna move into some chest lifts. So interlace your hands, take your hands behind your head. And when we do chest lifts in Pilates, we wanna keep a neutral pelvis. That means there's still a little natural curve under the lower back. So a lot of traditional fitness, you guys, will teach us to tuck our pelvis as we do ab work. And that's protective for the lower back, but doesn't teach us how to support our body in a natural alignment, right? Our spine in a natural alignment. So in Pilates, we're looking to release the tuck, keep a little natural curve under the lower back, and use the breath and the core more than the butt and the thighs to do our chest lift. So here we go, you guys. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, close the ribs, curl your head and shoulder blades up off the mat. Inhale, reach around, hold your legs with your hands. And exhale, pull yourself up a little deeper. So this time we're trying to lift the shoulder blades all the way off the floor and keep a neutral pelvis. Meaning, you're still in that chest lift, meaning we're not letting the butt and thighs grip and tuck the pelvis. And they tend to do that unconsciously. So consciously pay attention to what your hips and your glutes are doing and see if you can release. So you have a little natural curve under the lower back. You guys are still up in that chest lift. You have 2 more breaths. Feel how it's the breath that supports the lift, not the legs, not the bottom. 1 more full breath all the way off your shoulder blades. And then exhale, lower, down. Here we go. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, sigh it out. Curl your head and chest up. Inhale, hold your legs with your hands. And exhale, pull yourself up a little deeper. And pause here. Try to get yourself lifted all the way off the shoulder blades. So a lot of us, again, you guys, we have a tightness across the thoracic spine. Can you sense the breath in the back body helping you bend the middle back? So you're feeling your core hold you. Take your 2 hands behind your head, and we're gonna add little tiny crunches. So you're gonna inhale here, and on an exhale, you're gonna come up a little bit higher. Inhale, go down just to the broad line or middle back. Use your breath to exhale, come up a little bit deeper. Inhale, lower just to the middle back. Keep the legs and glutes relaxed. Use your exhale to come up a little bit deeper. Hang in there, you guys. You have 5 more. Inhale, lower just to the mid back. And use your exhale to come up a little bit deeper. Inhale, we start in that chest lift. Exhale, we use the breath to come a smidge higher, a few more vertebrae. Inhale and exhale. So 3 more. Don't let it be a tugging of the shoulders. The neck is relaxed in the hands and the head is simply moving via the mid-back moving. 1 more, you guys. Lift up as high as you can. Hold on to your legs again with your hands. Pull yourself up a little bit deeper. Check in with the glutes and the thighs and make sure they're relaxed. So you have that neutral pelvis. We're gonna stay in the chest lift, hover our arms by our side, and we're gonna move into what we call rib cage arms. So on an inhale, the arms lift up and back, only as far as I can without lowering my shoulder blades. And exhale, my arms come back down. Inhale, my arms go up and back, stay in your chest lift. And exhale, my arms come down. Again, as I lift my arms, try not to let the shoulders creep up too. The chest collarbone stays opened and the arms come down. 3 or 4 more. So keep the curl and just figure out how much your arms lift today without tension in the neck or lowering the chest. So as the arms lift into rib cage arms, I want you guys to feel more core, not neck, core, which means you stay a little higher, maybe the arms don't move as much, and the shoulder blades stay connected to the spine. Final one, you guys, hang in there. Arms lift all the way up and pause. Can you come up a little deeper off the shoulder blades? Can you manage to widen your collarbone? Take 2 hands behind your head, take a breath in, and on an exhale, lower, down. Awesome, you guys, take a deep full belly breath in, and let it go. And let's grab our beach towel and or house towel. If you have a strap or a band, you can use that too. And we're gonna go into a hamstring stretch. So let's loop the right foot in your prop and extend the left leg out on the mat or floor. Hold the towel with 2 hands and just get your elbows to float above the floor the best they can. Straighten both legs, reach through both heels, and pull your stretching leg towards you as much as you can, you guys, keeping what we call a neutral pelvis. Feel the breath stabilize your spine, feel the breath work the core. About 10 breaths. So with the head and chest on the floor, we practice what's called rib cage breathing to engage the core. This idea of the rib cage expanding as we breathe in, and the rib cage deflating, almost like a corset or a back brace. We have 4 layers of abdominal muscles, you guys, and from rib cage to pubic bone, it feels like a corset hugging the spine, supporting the spine. These are our deep core postural muscles. So we, with our awareness, feel these now as we're stretching the hamstring. Now, we want to pull the leg towards us as much as we can, keeping a neutral pelvis. And often, you guys, if you pull the leg too far towards you, you're gonna end up rolling the tailbone up and tucking the lower back. I want you to keep that natural curve under the lower back the best you can. And I want you to keep your hips level side to side. So you're only gonna pull your leg towards you as much as you can without feeling like you've lifted the right hip higher than the left. We wanna keep the hips level, and you may need to lift your head and chest and look. And let's take one more breath in the hamstring stretch on our first side. And then let's go to the second side. So go ahead and step your left foot, second leg, up into your towel or strap for a stretch, and slide your first leg out on the mat. Flex both feet, reach through 2 heels, and lengthen and deepen your breath. So this side may be very different than the first. Allow yourself to kind of work with what is, as opposed to wishing it were something else. Feel the breath in the back body the best you can. So as we lie on the mat, you guys, can you sense your inhales filling the middle back? So you'll actually feel, or maybe feel, the feeling of the mid-back imprinting into the floor as you breathe in. Allow your exhales to release tension and engage your core. And pull this leg towards you just as much as you can, again, keeping a neutral pelvis. So if you pull the leg in too far for you today, you're gonna feel the tailbone roll up and the lower back press into the mat. We wanna keep the sacrum on the ground and a little natural curvature under the lower back. Again, pull the leg in towards you just as much as you can on this side, keeping level hips. So if we pull the leg in too far, what happens is the pelvis creeps up and our hips are not level and our pelvis is not neutral. And we're gonna get compression in the lower back like this. So often we need to move the leg away from us a little bit in order to feel a neutral pelvis and stabilize the core. We'll actually get more core work and more stretch by stabilizing the pelvis. You guys, one more breath in your hamstring stretch. And then release and hug 2 knees into your chest. Take a deep full belly breath. And let it go. Back into chest lifts. Put your 2 feet on the floor. Hands behind your head. So we're gonna go into chest lift with rotation. Take a breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, curl your head and chest up. Hold your legs with your hands and pull yourself up a little deeper. So once again, we wanna work the core via the breath, not everything else. The body tends to wanna work all these bigger, stronger muscles, right? So the body tends to wanna kind of clench and hold from the shoulders. Can you relax the shoulders and open the chest? The body tends to want to kind of squeeze the glutes and the thighs and tuck the pelvis. Can you relax the glutes and the thighs and allow the tailbone to be heavy. So our pelvis is gonna stay neutral, and we're gonna turn from the middle back the best we can. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, turn your chest to one side. Inhale, come back to center. Use your exhale to turn the other way. Again, inhale back to center. And exhale to turn. So I'm turning only, keep going you guys, I'm turning only as far as I can without putting my shoulder blade on the mat. My eyes will probably gaze at my hands or my thighs, so I'm not overturning my neck and straining my neck. So again, you guys, we're trying to stay off the shoulder blades and turn the thoracic spine. So the sensation is taking nipple liner, armpit to knee, right? What we tend to do is drop down too much in the shoulder blades, and the shoulder blades end up touching the floor. So you're gonna keep going. You have about 5 more. If it's enough, you keep holding your legs. If you wanna play with a little more challenge, take your 2 hands behind your head and continue with the chest lift with rotation. Inhale, and exhale to turn. Again, inhale to center, and exhale to turn. Stay off that shoulder blade you're turning towards. You guys, 3 more. Breathing in, and out. Breathing in, try not to pull on the neck. Breathing out. Last one each side. You guys, let the head hammock heavy in the hands so you're not tugging with the shoulders and the neck. Final one. And come to center. And roll all the way down. Awesome, you guys. Take a breath in. And out. And then place your 2 feet back on the floor. And we're gonna go back into pelvic peels. So we're gonna add on to our pelvic peel. That's the articulation of the spine. Take a deep full breath in. And on an exhale, roll your hips and spine up. So pause at the tip of the shoulder blade. So a lot of us in this bridge shape tend to make it a back bend. We make it too big. Lower the ribs more than you think so your whole upper back is on the mat. And when your whole upper back is on the mat, you guys are using your upper back, your postural muscles, again, not your neck and shoulders. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, lift your right leg to tabletop. So we're gonna move into shoulder bridge. If you can extend the leg here, you will. If it's too much, you just keep the knee bent. And on an exhale, lower your straight leg down towards the floor. Inhale, the leg comes up, and exhale, the leg comes down. Again, inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. About 5 more, you guys. So the idea is how much can you lower your leg today without arching the back, right? So as the leg goes down, we have to stabilize via the breath. So you want to feel your abs supporting and the hip opening and stretching, not an arch in the lower back. 1 more. And then bend the knees, put 2 feet on the floor, and we'll move into our second side. Take a breath in. And on an exhale, take your left leg to tabletop. And if you need to keep it at tabletop, you guys, that's absolutely okay. I don't want you to feel your joints or your lower back. I want you to feel your core. If you can extend the leg to the ceiling, do. Now remember the work of the hamstring stretch. We want to keep the hips level. So often here, our lifted leg, the hip likes to drop to the floor. It also kind of likes to hike towards the ear. Can you lengthen the left waist and lift the left waist so we continue to support a neutral spine? And on an exhale, lower your straight leg down. Inhale, the leg comes up for shoulder bridge. And exhale, it lowers down. Breathing in to lift. And breathing out to lower. Keep moving with your breath, you guys. Inhale and exhale. So how far can you lower this leg, maintaining a neutral spine, right? Using the breath to support your spine like a corset or a back brace. So the body's held stable in this plank-like position as we release the front of the hip, right? If you're losing the lower belly work, you're gonna feel more of an arch or compression in the lower back. Keep the idea of pelvic tilting so the thigh opens and stretches and the abdominals work. 1 more. And place 2 feet on the floor. Take a deep full breath in through your nose. And on an exhale, peel your spine down to the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then hug both knees into your chest, round your back. And take a deep full belly breath. Let's curl our head and chest up, so shoulder blades off the mat. Keep the knees hugging in tight, and if it's comfortable, just rock on your spine a little bit. If that doesn't feel good, just make your way all the way up the best you can. We're gonna rock ourselves up, and we're gonna make our way onto our belly for prone hip extension. So you're gonna stack your 2 fingers, or 4 fingers on 4 fingers. If you have 10, you're lucky. And you're gonna make a little space for your nose, and you're gonna lie flat on your belly. So we're prone on our belly. I'm gonna lift my head so I'm not talking to the floor. Can you feel the core work here? So when we exhale, you guys, the front body pulls to the back body. When we exhale, it is a sigh of relief, get it. I know we all need it right now, right? So it is an open mouth exhale, releasing tension and pulling the navel in. So you wanna feel that we're keeping a neutral pelvis. So that's the belly button to the spine and the pubic bone to the floor, and we're gonna go ahead and move the legs. Inhale, get ready. And on an exhale, lift one leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the other leg. Inhale, lower. And exhale, switch. So you guys continue to march the legs, like straight leg lifts from prone on your belly, one at a time. And how far can you lift your leg without arching the lower back, without compressing the lumbar spine? For most of us, you guys, it's not a huge lift. It's about the stability in the pelvis. It's about this idea of keeping that pelvic tilt or neutral pelvis, so you feel that the front thigh is opening and you're working from that kind of glute hamstring area. One more each side. And then can we hover 2 legs? So you guys, often in Pilates, less is more. It's about quality, not quantity. So the quality is keeping the neutral pelvis, keeping the pelvic tilt, and lifting the legs. Most of us barely get the kneecaps off the floor. How much do your legs lift without turning it into a compression in the lumbar spine? So we need to maintain the pubic bone pulling into the floor as we lift from the hip socket and feel a release across the quads and hip flexors. One more full breath. And press your feet into the mat. Awesome, you guys. So this time the legs are gonna stay down, and we're gonna take our arms here for swan. I couldn't decide if it was swan or cobra. Cobra would be yoga, swan would be Pilates. Somehow they became relatives. So we're here on our belly, keeping the feet grounded this time and keeping a neutral pelvis. We're gonna go into back extension, upper back extension, thoracic spine. So on an inhale, you're gonna lift your head and chest. And on exhale, you're gonna roll back down. Again, inhale, pull forward and up, lengthening your spine. And exhale, roll back down. So once again, you guys coordinate your breathing and your movement. And lift, think of the back bend happening from the crown of the head, again, to the mid-back or the thoracic spine. So too many of us have too much movement and hypermobility in the lumbar spine. I want you again to stabilize the pelvis and feel like you're lifting from your middle back, right? Keeping your abdominals engaged. 2 more. And now traction your spine. So a lot of us tend to just shove, trying to get higher, and that actually compresses the spine, and it will actually feel like compression. I don't want it to feel like compression. I want you guys to try to create space and elongation in your spine, which means go forward to go up. Think of pulling your body forward like you're a snake shedding out of your skin. And then roll down, recommit to the lower belly. 1 more. Let's come on up into swan and pause. So you're gonna lift your chest as high as you can today, you guys, without losing that work in the lower belly and that length in the lower back. So we're stabilizing the pelvis again, which means the top of the feet are vigorously grounded into the floor. If you're losing the lower belly, your feet will not be grounded into the floor. So stay off the chest and take the arms out to the side like airplane wings. So holding this swan position, chest up, belly in. On an exhale, turn your thumbs up to the ceiling. Inhale, the palms face the floor. And exhale, the thumbs turn up to the ceiling. Moving with your breath. So we call this rotation in the shoulder joint. The arm bone rolls up and back and the chest opens even more. Inhale, the palms face down. And exhale, we externally rotate the shoulders with your breath. So how much, you guys, can you open the chest without letting go of your middle? Right, so you wanna feel like the ribs are closing into the spine. You wanna feel like the belly button's pulling into the spine. So your pubic bone is tucked into the floor and the top of all 10 of your toes are pressing vigorously into the floor. You guys have one more. Turn your thumbs up, pause, smile. Lift your belly more. Reach your arms wider apart. Take one more full breath. And release, and let's press back into a child's pose, rounding our spine. So this is supposed to be a rest position. If it doesn't feel restful, you guys can lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Let your head rest on the floor, and if it doesn't reach, maybe stack your forearms or fold a blanket or your towel we were using. If you're feeling a little compressed, feel free to widen the knees, and let's take 3 or 4 breaths here in child's pose. So once again, you guys, the breath particular to Pilates is this idea of posterior lateral rib cage breathing. So you want to do the best you can to sense your breath across your middle back, creating space, small amount of expansion. And as you exhale, you guys release tension. So our body tends to hold unconscious tension, like chronic stress. Can you feel where you're tense and tight now? Jaw, face, shoulders, fingers, toes. It's tough, it's a practice. So you notice where you're feeling tension, can you release via the exhales? One more full breath here. And then roll yourself up to seated. And we're gonna come onto our hands and our knees. So all the way down onto all fours. I'm having some light shine in the windows. I have a little halo on top of my head. I hope you guys can still see me. When we're on our hands and our knees, the biggest mistake, you guys, is we tend to lose that open chest like we just did in Cobra or Swan, right? And the shoulders hunch forward, and I've got all this tension in my shoulder joint and my wrist joint. So can you slide the shoulders down the back and open the chest? Can you feel, as you stand on your hands, this idea that we did on our belly of external rotation of the shoulder? So the chest is open. You want to feel a sense of work in the tricep and the underarm, not so much a sense of tension in the shoulders and wrists. And if your wrists are killing you, you can actually be on your fists, and or you can take a towel, a prop, to modify for those wrists if you need it. And you just create a little bit of a lift, and then the heel of the hands would come right on the end of your towel, so you're not breaking the wrist quite as much. And then being on our hands and our knees, let's go into cat-cow. So on an inhale, we're gonna lift the chest and the tailbone. And on an exhale, we're gonna round the back. So moving our spine via breath. Inhale, lift my chest and my tail. Use the breath, you guys. Exhale, round. Feel the ribs lift, feel the lower back round. Again, breathing in. And breathing out. Back and forth with your breath. So too often on the exhale, you guys, I see this. I see the shoulders hunch. Keep the shoulders pulling down and feel it's the breath, like our chest lift, that pulls the rib cage and pubic bone together, not the shoulders and the ears. Few more. So once again, it's quality, not quantity. The movement's gonna feel a little smaller. It's not gonna feel like you're rounding as big or arching as big, but when you stabilize the shoulder blades and make the work happen from your middle, you're gonna feel a sense of release in the lower back and a sense of space and release in the neck. One more. And then come to neutral. So find a flat back, meaning chest is opened, belly's lifted. Keep externally rotating the shoulder joints. So these arm bones, you guys, are spinning away from the middle, so you feel the work in the underbody. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, lift one hand and rotate your chest. So once again, try not to let the shoulders creep up into the ears. Keep the idea of sliding that bottom shoulder blade down your back and lifting the underside waist and rib cage. And then inhale, the hand comes down, and exhale, second side. Inhale, hand down, moving with breath. Exhale, we rotate. So ideally, my pelvis stays facing the floor. I'm turning my mid back. Inhale. And exhale to move. with your breath. So you guys coordinate your breath and your movement. When you turn, keep widening the chest, widening the shoulder blades, and pulling the shoulders down your back like cobra, like you're still popping that chest forward. One more each side. And then you guys are gonna roll open to me and pause. So once again, my hips are facing the floor, ideally, and I'm turning just my chest. Often that bottom shoulder tends to kind of creep into the ear. So the hand is super glued to the floor, and I'm working to lift my underside rib cage and rotate my bottom shoulder down my back, right? That's external rotation of the shoulder joint. That's gonna make me feel the work more in my core, not so much in my shoulder and my wrist. So we're gonna move into a modified side plank. So the same arm that's up, you're gonna extend that leg and roll opened into a modified side plank. So everything on the floor is walking on a tightrope, my foot, my shin, my knee, and my hand. If for any reason you guys, this is too much on your wrist or your knee joint, you just literally lie on your side, right here. And we can do the exact same work on our side. Make sure the bottom rib cage is lifted. So even if you're lying on your side, you're not allowing the waist and the ribs to drop. We're engaged in the core. Welcome to Pilates. And from our side plank, I want you guys to feel the stabilization in your core. So often what happens in this position is we back bend, right? Pull the rib cage into your spine, tuck the tailbone towards your back foot. So you feel the sense of core holding you, not so much wrist, not so much knee. And if and when you're ready, we're gonna try to float that top leg off the floor. So I'm still lifting my underside ribs, sliding my bottom shoulder down my back, and we're gonna move the leg. Very similar to like we did in the shoulder bridge. You're gonna inhale, kick the leg forward, and exhale, take the leg behind you. Inhale, kick the leg forward, and exhale, take the leg behind you, using your breath. So once again, the breath stabilizes the middle. How far do you feel like your leg can move behind you without arching your lower back? So as the leg goes behind you, you guys, you gotta keep the idea of exhale holding you. It feels like a pelvic tilt. It feels like the idea of tailbone to the back foot. So it again feels like an opening across the quad, not a compression in the lumbar spine. One more. Let's keep the back leg behind us the best we can. Pull your rib cage into your spine, tuck your tailbone, pubic bone forward towards me, and lift that back heel up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Exhale, keep lifting the underside ribs so there's not any pressure in that bottom wrist, and hold. We may stay right here. We may end up on our side all the way down if you need to modify. Bend the top knee and reach for the foot. If you can't grab it or find it, just pretend. You can always kind of loop it with your towel if you need to. Pull the knee back, feel the quad and hip flexor stretch, and stabilize your center. 5 breaths, you guys. So once again, I repeat myself often. I'm not sure if my family likes it very much. I hope it helps you guys. How far does your leg pull behind you without arching the back? Feel how much the core and breath has to work to stabilize you guys in order to feel an opening across the quad and hip flexor. You have one more breath here. And then release the leg. Make your way onto your hands and knees and sit back into a brief rest position. Hips back, head down. And take a few deep, full, natural breaths here. Sense the inhale across the mid-back. And how much can you let go of on your exhale? You can sense the inhale in the back body. And feel a sense of releasing tension on your exhales. And one more breath here in your rest shape. And then you guys roll yourself up, and we have 2 sides. Second side, here we go. Take a breath in. And on an exhale, roll your opposite arm to the ceiling. And then you're gonna extend your back leg and move into a modified side plank. So everything on the floor is walking a tightrope. My foot, my shin, my knee, and my hand. And when you're ready, you're gonna lift the back leg. So when I lift that back leg, you guys try not to drop and collapse the underside ribs. Keep lifting your underside ribs and keep sliding that bottom shoulder down your back. And now we're gonna move the leg from the hip socket. Inhale, kick the leg forward. And exhale, take the leg back. Again, inhale, kick the leg forward. So I'm moving just from my hip socket, stabilizing my spine, and exhale. If for any means it's too much on your joints, your wrist, your knee, just lie on your side and do the same work. So we move the leg. How far does this leg may be very different than your other leg. It may be very different than what you think it should be. It may be very different from yesterday. None of it's linear. Do the best you can to be with what is. So I want you to feel how much the abs have to work to take the leg behind you. And I want you to feel that if you're working your abs and stabilizing your pelvis, you're gonna get a sense of release across the front thigh that's moving behind you. One more, you guys. Leg comes behind you and hold. Keep lifting your underside rib cage. Keep sliding your bottom shoulder down your back so you're not feeling the pressure in that bottom wrist. And lift the top heel up for 10, 9, 8, 7. Nice, stable, still core via the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bend the knee, reach for the foot. If you can't find it, pretend it's exactly the same. Everything starts in our mind, guys. Pull the knee behind you, tuck the pubic bone forward, and breathe. So many of us pull so far that we make the body back bend. I don't want the body to back bend. I want you to think of pulling your pubic bone and rib cage to each other, which means the leg is not gonna get as far behind you, and you're gonna feel more openness across the hip and more work in the core. One more full breath, you guys, hang in there. And then extend the arm and the leg. And one more child's pose, forehead down. Again, make child's pose comfortable. You can widen your knees. Make sure your head is resting either on the ground or your forearms. And again, you guys, if child's pose isn't comfortable, lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Find a comfortable rest position for a few breaths. And take a final breath here. And then when you're ready, roll yourself up. And we're gonna sit on our bottom for some more articulation of the spine. So if you do happen to have a stretchy TheraBand, you may choose to use it. If you don't, I'll give other modifications. So go ahead and have a seat. Legs are extended out in front of you. And again, if you have a band, it makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to make it easier. You can wrap your feet and hold on. If you don't have a band, we're gonna do it with straight legs. And for any of us, if you have any pain or discomfort in your lower back, feel free to widen the feet and even bend the knees and hold on. So we're gonna go back into articulation of the spine. You're gonna take a full breath in through your nose. And on an exhale, you're gonna roll your spine down, tailbone, lower back, middle back. One rib at a time, shoulders and head. And if I don't have a band or a strap, I can reach my arms overhead. Inhale, I'm gonna lift my head and chest. And on an exhale, I'm gonna peel my spine up 1 vertebrae at a time, staying round as long as possible, and then stacking up nice and tall. Inhale, get ready. And exhale, peel your spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms can stretch up and back overhead, keeping my rib cage grounded on the mat. Inhale, lift your head and chest. And exhale, peel your spine to roll up. Try to marry your breath and movement together. Inhale, prepare. And exhale to peel. Start with that pelvic tilt. Get your tailbone first. Lower back, middle back, shoulders and head. Inhale, lift your head and chest. And exhale, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Few more, you guys. Breathe in, get ready. Breathe out, peel your spine. So you guys, we have 27 vertebrae, 27 little backbones. About 7 are fused down there, so let's endeavor to move about 20 little pieces of our spine. It's tough, I know. We totally need to do more somersaults and cartwheels while we're at home, help that spine move. Few more. And again, you guys, if it's not working, and it's hard, you can bend the knees and hold on. Final one. We're gonna peel down just to the tip of the shoulder blades. So on this one, you're gonna go down to that chest lift position. So the shoulder blades are still off the floor, and we're gonna take 2 legs to tabletop. Holding on, try to lift your chest a little higher so your eyes are gazing forward, right? So we're endeavoring to bend the middle back enough to get the tension out of the neck. Keep holding on to one leg and slide your other leg out to straight for single leg stretch. Inhale to switch. And exhale to switch. Inhale to switch. Keep the chest lift. And exhale to switch. Breathing in. If you need to support the neck, you guys feel free. Breathing out. So once again, moving my legs, stabilizing my center. So I'm staying in a chest lift. I'm trying to feel my abdominals and my breasts support the weight of my moving legs. And I'm trying to allow my hips to open and stretch. You guys, our hips, our quads, and our hips are big, strong muscles. They want to do all this work for us. So the idea of the breathing and this intention of using the deeper core muscles is going to make my abs work to hold my legs, not my legs. We're going to add on. If you need a break, please take it. So pause the legs for a moment. Take your 2 hands behind your head and turn your opposite armpit to knee. So I'm turning from my mid-back. Inhale to turn. And exhale to turn. Try not to pull the neck. Let the head come with the chest. Inhale. And exhale. So this is called crisscross. Don't land on the shoulder blade you're turning towards. Think of taking your armpit to your knee. You have 5 more. Take a break if you need it. So we're off the shoulder blades and we're turning the nipple line, you guys, to the hip. Too often we pull the neck or just roll the shoulder blades. You have to stay lifted. 3 more. 2 more. Hang in there, you guys. Use the breath. 1 more. And hug 2 knees in. Rest all the way down. Take a deep, full breath. And let it go. Keep your knees hugging in nice and tight. You guys curl your head and chest up again. And let's just rock on the spine again. If this doesn't feel good, come up however does feel good. You're going to come all the way up. We're going to make our way onto our hands and our knees. And we're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So you guys go ahead and let's do the left leg first today. Why not? Why not be different? Left leg forward. You're going to do the best you can to put 2 hands on the inside of your front foot. If you need to move your foot to the left a little bit, out away from the midline, sometimes that's helpful. And then you're going to scoot your back knee back as much as you can. Right? And that doesn't mean you have to go for the gold. I still want you to take deep, full breaths. And you want to start to feel a stretch in the hips. So we're going to take about 10 full breaths here. And you guys feel free to let go of the core work. You've done enough abs, right? And just let your breath be deep and full. And feel a sense of releasing tension with your exhales. Deep, full breaths in. And allow your exhale to release tension. So some of us are going to feel this in the back leg, the quad and hip flexor. Some of us are going to feel this in the front leg, the outer hip and groin. It's not wrong, it's not right, it just is. This is where you need to feel it. Be with it. 3, 4 more breaths. And again, you guys, we're not shoving and trying to get anywhere, nor are we letting ourselves tighten and resist because maybe it's uncomfortable. Do the best you can to release into gravity and let go of gripping, holding. And any resistance, take 1 more full breath here. And second side. So when you're ready, step your second leg forward. Hands will be on the inside of the foot. You guys, and if you're really tight, your hands might not reach the floor, so get creative. I know we're all getting really good at that, aren't we? Use pillows, use books, use blocks. You can even stay up here if it's too much to take your hands down. If you can, take your hands on the inside of the front foot. If you need more space, move your front foot out to the right or out away from the middle. And scoot your back knee back as much as this side will allow. And just start to give in to gravity. Find and feel the stretch. About 10 deep full breaths. So let your breath be deep and natural. Let go of the Pilates breathing we've been doing thus far. So we're not stabilizing the core anymore. Hallelujah. We're just letting go. And find that sense of letting go. You guys, it's an art, it's a practice. It's so necessary right now in our world. And notice what you're feeling on this side, right? It may be very different than the other side. And instead of pushing and shoving and wanting it to be something else, try to allow it to be what it is. And find a sense of as much release as possible. As much letting go as possible. 3 or 4 more breaths in our hip stretch. You guys let those exhales be an open mouth exhale, releasing tension. And then when you're ready, make your way back into a child's pose. Rest your head, sit your hips back, and take a few deep full breaths here. Again, find a comfortable spot for your head. If it doesn't reach the floor, use your forearms. Feel the inhale through the nose. And allow the exhale to release tension. 2, 3 more breaths in your child's pose. Final breath. And then we're going to make our way up and back onto our hands and our knees, and we're going to put all this fabulous core work together. So starting on your hands and knees, the body's already in plank. Can you guys feel all the detail we've talked about thus far? Can you feel that you're not allowing the work to drop into your shoulders and wrists, but you're pulling the chest open and widening the collarbone, right? So you're connecting your arms to your core, so your core is going to work more and your joints are going to work less. Can you feel the middle lift like we did in prone, right? And if this is enough for you guys today, stay on all fours. This is plank, right? Otherwise, we're going to step back into a full plank. And we're going to be here a lot longer than you'd like. So there's a lot of modifications for this. You guys are more than welcome to be on your forearms. Yeah, that would be something you could do if your wrists are bothering you. You are more than welcome just to drop the knees back here, right? You might do that if your lower back's bothering you. You can also keep your knees directly underneath you in cat position. I'm still with you guys, hang in there. So we're holding plank. I think someone just held plank in the Guinness Book of World Record for 8 hours and something. You guys will be okay. So the more you can find the detail we've talked about, you're still in plank, I'm with you. The more you can find the detail we've talked about throughout the last 45, 50 minutes, the more efficient and easier this is gonna be, right? As we get tired, the shoulders tend to hunch forward. Can you keep sliding the shoulders down the back and feel that work of what we call external rotation in the shoulder? So you're connecting to your tricep and your underbody. As we get tired, the middle starts to drop, you guys. Can you pull the rib cage and the navel in? Hover your front body to your back body. So your lower back is protected and your core is working. How about 5 more breaths, you guys? If you need a break, you'll take it. Do the best you can without straining. Keep opening the chest and lifting your middle. Opening the chest and lifting your middle. 2 more breaths. I'm with you. And let's move into a downward dog. So your hips will lift up and you're gonna come into a triangle shape. If for any reason this is too much, you can always widen the feet and bend the knees. You wanna lift your sit bones up so your body is like a triangle and your sit bones are the apex. And we're gonna take about 5 breaths here in our downward dog. Again, if you need a break, you guys take a child's pose. What's happening in the arms? So again, often when we weight bear, too often the shoulders hunch forward and we have too much tension in the wrists. Can you manage to find what we call external rotation of the shoulder here? You might need to bend the knees, right? So that the shoulders, the upper arms are still spinning away from the middle and the chest is opened. Take a few more breaths. Okay, so we're gonna go back between the 2 shapes, plank to downward dog, and if it's too much, you guys, you can do cat-cow. So on an inhale, we come forward to plank, boom. And on an exhale, we go back to downward dog. So once again, like we've done thus far, link your breath and movement together. Breathing in to move, heart is opened. And breathing out to move. Again, you guys, if this feels like straining in your wrists or your lower back, just go back to this one. Right, so work as hard as you can without hurting yourself. Yes, few more, hang in there. And then everybody's gonna make their way to a downward dog, and if you need a child's pose, that's absolutely okay. Take a few breaths here, again, lift your sit bones. Continue to feel that idea of the upper arms, you guys, spinning away from the middle so the chest is open. One more full breath in downward dog. And then walk your hands back towards your feet, and we're gonna come into a forward fold. So just clasp your forearms, let your upper body hang. And you guys don't have to bend, you don't have to straighten your knees. If it feels like too much to straighten your knees, bend your knees. Right, and just allow the head and chest to hang. So can you feel just as much weight bearing in your toes as your heels? So a lot of us sit the weight back in the heels. So this is really mindful movement, paying attention to what we're doing and how we're doing it and making it all a little more efficient. So shift your weight forward in your toes a bit so you feel a sense of release in the neck, a sense of release in the upper back. And allow your upper back to release. Allow your head and neck to release. Let any extra tension seep out of the crown of the head into the floor. And take another full breath here. And then just drop your arms into that forward fold. Take a deep full breath in. And as you exhale, articulate your spine up to standing, one vertebrae at a time, stacking your joints. And take a big inhale, reach your arms overhead. And again, open your mouth, let it go. One more time like that. You guys let it go, why not? Inhale, reach up, no one's there. I can't see you. Open your mouth, let go. Awesome job, you guys. Thank you so much. Namaste. I love you. I miss you. I wish I could be there with you guys. At least we have this fabulous technology to connect like this. Keep taking care of yourself. I've started a YouTube page. I'm going to start uploading all these videos on YouTube. So they're there and available when you need them. I don't know that you have much else to do. Be well, you guys. Stay well. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Mwah.